BlackBerry all 190 pages of it because it was that good. And then I sent it to my father, who works in the industry, and asked him if I was crazy or not, because I thought it was really good, but I wasn't sure if it was just like completely bizarre, which it was. And then when I met them, they were so great and they're so enthusiastic. And the role of Mary is so it's you rarely come across a character like that. And they were so generous in really giving her to me and allowing me to do what I wanted with her and not being, possessive psycho bitches over their Mary. So it was, I'm really, really happy. And they didn't tell me I was terrible and cry and throw things at me, so I was pleased.
Now, I've got a question for I'm sorry, I don't know your name, sir, but the actor played Billy. Antonio. Antonio, I thought it was... Thank you very much. I love the fact that you were essentially the male hero of the piece, even though common convention would assume that, like, oh, he's kind of like the bad guy, he's a little too edgy, he's living on the dark side. But you really did care immensely for Mary.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the challenge you were playing with, right from the beginning. Developing Billy. Billy wasn't just an asshole. He just had to do what he had to do, and he had this kind of a big heart, and the two roles that kind of throughout the film you can see them getting closer and then getting farther away from each other, opposite ends of the spectrum. And it was something that we talked about during the shooting of it, and luckily the Saskas were around, because that would have probably totally made him completely different. And they just kept on guiding me and making me realize certain things about him. And it's at the end it's kind of like the bully with the big heart.
Now, did you feel like it was all fleshed out on set in terms of how your portrayal was going to be in that regard, if they were guiding you through the process?
I think I had the sort of a one-dimensional idea of him coming into the room, and when they had me in for the casting.
You didn't read this script though when you came in for casting. And I read the part for Mary, and he did the last scene, and he did it all like really super sexy, and he got like this close to my face. I was like, cut! Why would she want to kiss you after she caught you getting blown by another girl? And you're like, what? And I'm like, did you read the script? Like, she's fucking crazy. She's what? You only read your 3 scenes, didn't you?
It's true. I only read those 3 scenes. I didn't have time to read anything else. But with that in mind, that's why it was so one-dimensional. I was giving it. Now there was a certain point that we were going over the script, over the sides rather, and actually Sylvia was reading with me, and I knew that little section, and we were sort of working off each other and whatever else, and she just kind of stopped and looked at me and turned to Jen and said, I forgot my fucking lines. and then she said, this is Billy. So it was good. It was good.
I also love that you didn't come in with a resume or a headshot, and when we asked you, you said, I don't fucking do that shit. And then we said, will you bring one next time? And you're like, yeah, fuck. And
you never did.
That's actually also when we knew you'd be Billy. Our casting director was like, he's such a fucking asshole. I was like, yeah, I know.
He will barely have to act.
Well, after this film, maybe you won't need it. So, Jen and Sylvia, how do you guys differentiate who does what on set in the writing process? Like, is it entirely collaborative? Does one of you have a certain thing, like, I'm doing the framing, I'm doing the working with the actors, or is it just totally interchangeable?
Well, Syl's a bitch, so she does the yelling.
Actually, that is so not fair. No, Jen is a nice human being, and I will go over to someone, I'm very socially awkward, and I'll go over and I'll talk to them, and if they don't understand what I'm saying almost instantaneously, I will check out. It'll be like, hey Jen, that person has no idea what the fuck I want to say. Can you make a sock puppet or something? And they're like, where's Sylv? She's just pissed off in a corner.
The film is very much an analogy for our own adventures in the film industry, and no, I wasn't raped before anybody asks and wonders. Because that was awkward on set. They're like, oh my god, these poor girls. It's like, no, A metaphorical.
It's a figurative ass fucking. It's not a literal one.
But it was really important for Sylv to work with Katie for, the Mary character, because Sylv is Mary. The storage locker thing, she's like, that's not a big deal. I'd fucking do that to somebody. I'd do that to someone for cutting me off.
I just can't afford a storage locker. Then they're expensive.
But yeah, she worked a lot with Katie and Brian, and I love prosthetics, so the makeup and working with Todd and his team was really important for me. And then if somebody needed to be talked to, like actors have feelings, I would do that. And if someone needed to yell cut, Sylvie would do that.
Never cut, it was always fucking cut.
So working with the prosthetics team, how much prep time did they have? Because seriously, the work is freaking phenomenal.
Nowhere near enough.
Are you guys supposed to get prep time?
Yeah.
We are such big fans of effects artists, and especially Todd Masters and Masters Effects. We used to watch 6 Feet Under, and our favorite part was the kill at the beginning. And when we were looking for somebody to come on for Mary, at the very top of our list was Masters Effects, and we thought, well, there's no fucking way we'll ever get them. And I know enough, you say Hail Satan enough, and it's a joke to all of us, but once in a while, Satan's listening.
Now, for the character of Ruby, how difficult was that to go into a situation, like encapsulating into your own mind, like, okay, this is what my character wants, this is what they want to do to their body, like, is that something that's completely foreign to you, or was it something you latched onto in the script?
Totally foreign. Totally foreign. But I mean, I think we're all exposed to it. We all watch television. We watch Extra, and we see the Catwoman, and we see these people who are doing these crazy things to their bodies, and it was fascinating to me. It was interesting to go in and not judge it, and just be like, okay, this is what she wants, and this is who she is, and then the prosthetics did the rest. I mean, you get to show up and not really do anything. Todd creates your face, and it's awesome.
It wasn't at all intimidating? I mean, especially when you can see the incision mark as if she's gotten her ribs removed.
Well, Paula was actually our very first cast member. We kept trying to sell this movie, and everyone was like, ew, no, absolutely not. And we're like, no, it's going to be really pretty. And they're like, no. So Paula came on board, and we're like, hey, Paula, would you be naked with plastic on your vagina and tits so we can sell a movie? And she said, sure. And cast, just like that.
I think you said latex bikini. It was less
I
intimidating.
lied a lot at the early stages.
Yeah. It was like, can you come this weekend and wear a latex bikini for us? And I was like, sure, I'm free. I'll do it. Sounds like fun.
I told you it'd be like 3 hours.
Yes, and then I was 13 hours in application.
They tried. It was film school. They had no idea what was going on. We were horrified. We kept playing Ruby Tuesday. We're like, maybe that'll make everyone happy. Nope. Really annoying.
Good times.
So along those lines, though, did people, before you cast them in the film or tried to get money, financial backers involved, were they getting that there was going to be humor in this? Because there's a lot of humor on screen.
Oh, thank you. I don't think a lot of them got it, but the first people who threw money in were actually my parents. They mortgaged their house, so there would be money, and then people got a lot more braver about throwing money in. Oh, thank you. And it's not like my mom and dad were like, we need to make a movie about body modification. They're like, oh, you poor things. If you seem really excited about it. They're never going to get married or have kids, I guess. And they didn't lose the house, though, so yay, right? Yeah!
So what happened to Nana?
She died. She died, dude.
But no, you got that. But just like, okay, delete content.
Yeah. She's cold. She's all like, fuck.
Oh well. It seemed a little sudden.
It's always sudden. No one ever calls you like, by the way, Nana's gonna die next week. I just want you to be prepared. It's gonna suck.
Okay, shall we open up the floor to questions?
Yeah, sure. Oh my God, there's so many. Yes.
Oh, okay. Hi. I directors, I'm a high school student applying to film schools right now. What film schools do you apply to, or if you go to a film school?
It's funny. We worked for a film school recently, and I asked them, "Did you guys research us?" And they're like, "Yeah, we researched the shit out of you." And it's like, the reason we made our first film, Dead Hooker in a Trunk, is they pulled our very measly funding for our short films. So it was
for our final school project, and then they had a list of everything that was too inappropriate to put on any school projects, and this was a big fuck you for us. So we put everything on that list in our fake trailer for Dead Hooker in a Trunk, and then they forgot about bestiality and necrophilia. And yeah, we wanted to add to that fucking list because fuck censorship. And then we were like, hee hee, we just did this for graduation. I know we didn't get a budget and you guys aren't really fond of us, but here, we did this. And then half the audience walked out and the other half was cheering so loud you couldn't hear the intentionally offensive dialogue. So
we're actually, strangely, not big advocates of film school. I would say, with all due respect, as much as some are good, they're good to teach you like technical stuff, so is Google, and so is working on set. The best thing you can do is take that money and put it into making your own film, because at the end, you have this beautiful showcase piece, and at the end of film school like us, you have financial debt.
Yes, huge ones. But Robert Rodriguez's Rebel Without a Crew, we had that on set every day. We called that the Bible. And then there's also Lloyd Kaufman's Make Your Own Damn Movie series, and you can learn so much from that. You can even tweet your favorite directors. Like, you can learn so much. Like, everything's so more accessible nowadays.
And director commentary. I always watch director commentary. Yeah.
Okay, my second part is, at the end of this, could I take pictures with all you guys?
Yes, please. Absolutely. Yes! Especially for the kid.
This is like punishment for like the crap that we were told about education. The movie is kind of like a response to the education, right? I mean, so we set up film school, fuck it. Like, you know, make your own movie, that will teach you. And that's kind of how what Mary did, more or less. Was that, and then it's a part of it? Like a kind of...
Well, you know, in horror movies, you always have these great male antagonists. You have like Pinhead, you have Freddy, you have Mike Myers. But I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, but when you make a female mad, she doesn't just come back with like, oh, you stubbed my toe, oh, I'll do it back. She comes back so batshit crazy, you don't even know what happened or what did I do to you? And I was like, wouldn't that be an interesting thing to put into a female character like that? So we put a lot of the batshit crazy, I guess, in both of my and Jen's heads into this, and so it's like every crazy aggression. But we're not crazy. We're just.
Shut up. We're both crazy, and this movie was a big fuck you to all the right people. Every movie we make. Who will we say fuck you to next? Who knows? We did storyboard. We love doing our own drawings. We love Robert Rodriguez, as we mentioned, and he does literally fucking everything. And I have no musical talent unless I'm intoxicated. Then I'm super talented. So we try to do as much as possible. We to do the writing process, we argue until we stop arguing, and then we break down, you know, the beginning, the middle, the end, and we fill in all the different parts in between to get there, and then we argue over who gets to write what. It's a lot of arguing.
Well, we're Hungarian, and then the other person gets to play video games, which is kind of awesome. It's like, fuck this, I'm gonna fucking go to Skyrim. Oh yeah, Skyrim fans, I'll see you fuckers online.
First of all, thank you, Sylvia, for taking time to email me back, Melissa.
Oh hey!
Yeah, hey.
You made it!
She's been really, really great about giving me advice and emailing me back. You didn't have to take the time to do that, so thank you. And my question is, do you think the female directors present different challenges?
I'm sure as many people who say really disgusting things to me and Jen, I'm sure Woody Allen gets that all the time, like the exact
Joel and Ethan
same.
all the time.
He's probably
Which
like,
one's
can you
hotter?
and what your brother bang me? No, but a lot of people, when we want to do completely disgusting things, they're like, oh, but you're girls. No, it can't be that horrible.
I do feel we can get away with a lot more, and as fucked up as it is, I feel the expectation on our work is pretty low when people go in. I mean, a lot of people say, well, fucking girls, I can't really do anything. I mean, their vaginas get in the way of shooting. It never has. I mean, I don't wake up and think, oh, I'm a girl, how will I make it through today?
Even though like that hooker, the American Mary is so different.
You're a Dead Hooker fan? Thank you.
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty good. No, it's
We always try to put dark humor in what we're doing. Sometimes people don't get the humor until it's, you know, the film's finished. They're like, oh, I guess it was kind of funny. It's like, oh, thank you. We try to have fucked up characters. We don't like, I find in a lot of North American films, characters are either good guys or bad guys. They're black and white. And as much as I'm not a fan of the book 50 Shades of Grey, people are actually shades of gray. I mean, everyone here is very, very flawed. And I think flaws in people are beautiful. So yeah.
And we did intend to make them totally different. Everybody wanted Dead Hooker in a Trunk too, and we were like, let's make something really fucking different. They won't even think the same people made it. And then we have another one that will make completely fucking different.
Yeah, we aim to make something completely different but kind of the same every time.
That's vague and strange. Great answer.
I just wanted to say thank you for bringing so much talent and weird images on the screen. It reminds me of David Cronenberg kind of style. So my question is about the writing process and the research process. I saw in the end credits that you thank the Church of Body Modification. So I was wondering how the community that changed their own body, the body modification community, react to your movie. You had some feedback from.
Oh yeah, the gentleman who plays Penis Guy with the horns, he was actually our flesh artist consultant. He was on set all the time, and
It was Russ Fox.
Russ Fox, and he showed Katie how to do her suturing, so she was a real doctor. And then we had Elwood Reed from the Church of Body Modification come on board, and a lot of authentic people. Because at the end of the day, they aren't wearing prosthetics, they aren't wearing pieces. Those forked tongues are real, the amputations are real, the 3D implants are real. And the knee-jerk reaction is to make them some sort of a freak or some sort of a witch hunt. And I find the weird people are usually the really sweet, nice, down-to-earth people. And the real fucked up ones are the ones that don't look fucked up at all. The more you know.
So far, actually, the best reaction has been from the body mod community, and they're really relieved or really happy to not be villainized for a change. They're actually a very private group because usually people approach them as the guise of a human interest story, and then they cut it together and put it on the news that, haha, look at the fucking freaks, which is super shitty.
Well, you can tell you're not being exploitive. I mean,
Oh no, we love them.
there's no judgment. It's just.
If I wasn't such a pussy, I'd get my horns done.
I'm trying to do a suspension, but I found out that when you suspend yourself, your blood farts afterwards. And I didn't need to know about that. I just wanted it stuck up, and then afterwards they've been like, by the way, your skin's gonna fart flag.
I love how it's not the hanging by hooks that puts you off, it's the skin farting. Just the sound.
Girls aren't supposed to fart, but hanging by hooks is alright. I don't think it makes smell.
Lance.
What brought you ladies into the filmmaking genre industry to begin with, and what drove you into the horror genre specifically?
Originally it was child labor laws. They would have two of us, and we weren't like successful child actors. We were like, we need a fucking kid in the background, and then once time's up, let's put another one that looks the same in the background. Horror always came naturally to us. We always loved horror. We didn't realize it was weird until we started to go out into the world, and then they're like, oh, what the fuck's wrong with you? I was like, oh, I thought, my parents are very much, I mean, even though they're Catholic and very religious, they don't give a shit about censorship. I watched Poltergeist when I was little. I watched Hellraiser when I was so fucking young.
We were too young to see that. It fucked us up really bad. But we thought Dead Hooker was a road trip movie, and I thought this was a romantic comedy, and I walk around and then everyone's like, God, she's really messed up.
What age did you start working in film?
We started acting when we were 7 years old. Yeah, it was weird. We always thought something amazing would happen, but no, whatever. Failed actress turned director.
Did some amazing body doubling work in my career.
She's been ass doubles. Come over to me afterwards and I'll tell you whose ass she's been.
I have been some famous asses.
Hey guys.
Hi.
There seems to be this moment where all the characters, no matter how badass they are, have this moment of innocence. Was that something that was in the script or something that evolved on set?
It got well. It was a really dark script. It was very important to have Beatrice Johnson. She was almost like the Betty Boop character was almost a very light character that all of a sudden gives you a bit of breathing room. The same with Lance, who was the big thug guy. It was really important to have because we wanted to turn every stereotype kind of on its head. But Mary never really does anything nice in the entire movie. She's completely selfish and she wants money the entire time. I remember Clive Barker once said that Pinhead never did a single nice, likable thing, but everybody would love him. And I was like, we should.
Because he's so hot.
I know. Well, I wanted Katie to be a Pinhead in this, except we didn't show shit in her face. We just took all her clothes away.
Actually, you know when you see it, Jen? The milkshake scene.
Lance, yeah. We always called that the heart of our scene. It was something that some people wanted to cut out, and we're like, oh, go fuck yourself. We gotta keep that in there.
That's the one moment you see the kind of innocent little girl again.
Yeah, that's the last time you see Mary as a person and not really a monster. That's the only time she smiles legitimately.
Yeah.
After so long.
Have you ever run into someone that completely replicates a character like Beatrice does?
In LA, I run into Ruby Regal Girl every day. Beatrice, no, though. I would be very excited to see if somebody goes along those lines to become like that. I'm still waiting for somebody to say they cut their... I think teenagers are going to start cutting their tongues and parents are going to start blaming us, which will be awesome for Twitter.
If you body modificate yourself after this, tweet us. At twisted_twins. I want to see it all.
I want to see your horns. I get horns.
Oh, and I can also get you in touch with guys who do it really good, and we'll get you a discount. We'll get you like the American Mary, like 10% off. That's a good deal.
You talked about another project that's coming up. Can you give us? I don't expect you to reveal it, but give us.
It's called Bob.
It's an original take on the very forgotten original monster movie, and it's horribly disgusting and very comedic. So we're doing something completely different. And
when we grew up, we had Gremlins, we had Alien, we had Pumpkinhead, we had all these cool fucking original monsters, and now we have sparkly vampires. So we'd like something new and something cool again, and you'll see us working with Masters Effects for that. And these fuckers too. They're not tired of us.
Well, let's finish up with everyone on the panel talking about what their next project lined up is.
That.
I'm doing Being Human and a couple indies in Vancouver, Lawrence and Holloman, and a few other things that I'm not sure we can talk about yet.
I do a TV series called Bomb Girls that just came out in America about 4 weeks ago. It's on Reel's channel every Tuesday night at 10 o'clock. I think we have 1 or 2 more episodes left and another season coming out in January, so keep your eye out for that.
I currently have nothing going on.
Great.
I'm going to say the same thing, but I just finished 7 months in a row, so I'm actually taking a break for 2 weeks. So I'm available next week.
Our company's making up for these two. We're doing Falling Skies, Fringe, True Blood, Arrow, and Rogue, and Mark, what else are we doing? Oh, Monsters, yeah, and October 27th, Son of Monster Blues, if you want to come see these ladies and all the other people, we're having a party there.
Absolutely true. And Jen sort of said my answer, but we're going to be working with First Comics right now, doing graphic novel adaptations, and there is this really cool artist. Jen and I are big comic book nerds, and he actually didn't hate us or the film, so it looks like we're going to get to do the big screen adaptation of his beautiful character, so I'm really stoked about that.
Also, if you want pictures, if you're nice, for Canadians, come down here.
Thank you.
Let's give a big round of applause.